Shall we start? No? Ladies first?
No, say it, because I think it sounds really nice with your accent.
What, Archwell Audio?
Yeah.
Archwell Audio.
I mean...
Really?
Shall we?
Yeah, let's do it.
Today is December 11, 2021 and it's 4:42 a.m. It's a Saturday, so I'm catching up with some of the things that I bookmarked several days ago, but I need to record them. So I'm just piling up on recording, and then God knows when I'm gonna have a chance to edit. Alright, so this is probably video number 3 in terms of December 9th bookmarks. Alright, so now this has to do a bit more with Harry and politics. That's the headline that I put here. So we're gonna go on Twitter, see what's going on. And by the way, this was the last prayer that I did on the last video. So now go on Twitter. Alright, so there's ByLine, and the previous video that I recorded this morning is that I told you guys to subscribe to ByLine TV on YouTube. They're very informative, and last night I watched some of their stuff, so I'll leave the link of some of the videos, well, not some, just one video of ByLine TV that I watched last night. It's very informative. If you are in the UK, I highly suggest you to watch ByLine TV. Later on, okay, you could subscribe whether or not you want, but later on, if you see things are not going the right way, you know, use your judgment and unsubscribe or whatever. Because I've recommended channels before on my video, and then later on the channel turned completely 360. So keep your guards up, get the information, see how it is, and then continue watching, because people are fighting. Alright, some people are fighting, some journalists. There are still some good journalists in the UK, so I highly suggest you watch ByLine TV. Alright, first tweet. Breaking. High Court judge rule in favor of Sienna Miller, Paul Gascoigne, and Evan Harris, giving them the right to speak about her alleged phone hacking at The Sun affecting them after Tabloid tried to gag victims. Alright, so that was the news going on. Let's read some of the comments. Okay, in other words, it's easy to ride for our main man, Prince Harry. Haha, can't wait. Yeah, I think that's what happened. There was a tweet, I don't know if I bookmark it here, is that she said that she wasn't she didn't have the enough fun to fight them and stuff like that, and people start calling on Harry, and you know, so I think I believe there's some really good people. I think the judge see the direction that they're going here. Harry's case is coming next, so I'm assuming Harry might call one or two of them to speak about their ordeal with the son phone hacking. That's what I'm assuming here. Okay, there's this. This is good news. Love this. Excellent. Good. All right. Next tweet, and I think this should have been first. This one. All right. So there it is again. All right. There's Omid Scobie who tweeted, and the day that I came across it, I bookmarked it and put it on my community board to share it with you, because I'm really late on latest news, so I put it on my community board. At least you know what's going on the day that it was happening. Prince Harry enters the chat. Alright, so Sienna Miller outside court said she had wanted to take the son to trial but could not afford the risk of millions in costs. It's a gamble when you call people to court. You think you know you have the means, but when the son who have limitless amount of money, you know, to prolong the trial, do all sort of things. So a lot of people know this is their games, the newspapers over there. So they don't want to take a gamble and then come out on the other side not winning, and then they have to pay them millions and stuff like that. Can you imagine, for instance, that she decided to call them to court? All right, I mean, I don't know her last movies or whatever she did, but I don't know how much money she has to. She takes them to court. Not only she has a family to raise and all of that, whatever money she already made on movies and all of that, you know, go to waste. Is like a evaporated just for that case only. And then the sons know. Look at how they're doing with Meghan. Take it to appeal, and then there's a possibility might take it to high court, or whatever, the way the UK system works. Right, so she didn't want to take that gamble. So now I sort of understand her now. All right, but at the same time, sometimes there needs to be a fight that needs to be taken. I mean, I'm not saying for her to do it, because I'm not in her shoes. All right, because at some point, you know, she needs to leave some stuff for her kids. But and also, as we move forward, if this is what they could do to you, imagine once your kids get to adult age, how is that system, that kind of tactic is gonna work? So all of this, many of us need to take into consideration as we move forward, whether you know you agree with her or not. But when something is wrong, especially when you see somebody else is going through it, you have to open your radar and say, what happened if it's me? What's gonna happen? All right, so these kind of things we need to think about. It's not just about race issues and all of that. Alright, so I read this. Let's read some of the comment. Okay, folks always expect Harry to do the work, then stand back and silent when he and his family are attacked. That I think I like this when I came across. True, Harry focus is his family. He already has an outstanding case with the tabloid. He has no time to be anybody's attack dog. Alright, the squad is coming. Prayers. Yep. Alright, it is really interesting that all the celebrities come out of the woodworks as soon as Harry or Meghan either fight back the press and succeed. They suddenly want to fight for their right even after Harry and Meghan abuse for it. You know, when I first saw it, that tweet, when I posted it, I felt the same way. I felt the same way the squad are feeling right now. But now that I'm recording and I already processed the thing, it's completely different when it's you. It's completely different when it is you, because you don't know what issues she's dealing with. We know her as the movie star and things like that, but we don't know. There's so much we do not know, so we cannot say a lot of things in terms of that. But at least we could say she is willing to lend a voice to have. Well, I don't know. I don't even know. If push come to shove and Harry decided, or Harry's lawyers decided to call witnesses in terms of what's happening, at least we know she'll be available, because now that the court had allowed her to speak, so at least we could give that credit for that. But it's completely different when those things are on you, because she grew up on this. Remember, I have a video where I did a small research on how the tabloid came about, It's been going on for a very long time. And these people have people in power to allow things to go in their favor. I'm talking about the newspaper people. Okay? So imagine her living, okay, she grew up. I believe she's a Brit, right? I think she's a Brit. Imagine living, grew up in this kind of instance. You may not know any difference. This kind of thing. So it's a very scary situation. So I cannot blame her that much, in the sense that not only not knowing what her circumstances are. Okay, we always see the glamorous things on the outside, but personally, look at Nick Cannon, for instance. I'm not even sure how I'm gonna put that video out, because the day before we were joking on Twitter. I mean, I didn't tweet about it, but I recorded and I was laughing and stuff like that of the things that was going on. And then the next day, what happened? He had just lost a baby. And this is what preventing me. I don't know if I'm gonna ever edit that video that I put especially for him, which I already recorded, do my excuse, my apology, and condolences and everything. It's still sitting there because I don't know how to present it, because some people will see the completely opposite of things. But the part where I was laughing the day of, it is still question mark to me. But we do not know her circumstances, but at least we have hope. She took the step to go to court and said, can I speak? I believe that's what happened, in my humble opinion. I could be wrong. All right, so at least we could say Harry's case is being stronger. All right, so we cannot bash. I don't think this was a bash, but it's just a perspective of things. Let's see here. Alright, why is that? It is really interesting that all the celebrities come out of the woodworks as soon as Harry and Meghan either fight back the press and succeed. They suddenly want to fight for their right, even after Harry and Meghan get abused for it. Alright, so there's some people who know about it. Okay, she's been fighting this case for years. Okay, see, I didn't even know. Alright, so there's a squaddy who's saying she's been fighting for years. Alright, so that's said with that. There's more comment. Let me read. Okay, Joker, but yes, Prince Harry will enter on a white horse. Time to take down some fools. Alright, did you see Battle of Bastards? Your comparison is very off. Jon Snow was horrible in that fight. I mean, this just, oh my god, it's a GIF. It doesn't mean exactly what the movie is saying here. It doesn't mean that. Oh my god, it's just a representative of things. You think all of the tweets that the GIF people put is really what the movie really said? It's based on this thing that person is saying. Alright, just take it based on this. This is Harry who's taking down everybody, pretty much. This is why she takes that GIF. It doesn't mean anything about the movie itself. When you're on Twitter, everything's out the window. Okay, pigeon sitting on grass. Alas, kid, what's wrong with his legs? Me? Maybe it's a she laying an egg. Kids, mama, don't mind the lady. She only joking. Bird don't lay eggs. Only chickens do. Okay, this convo is real. It took place decades ago, but it still haunted me. Okay. Alright, let me move on because I have more. Alright, so it's based on that. Sienna Miller is, the court allow her to speak. And there's more about it here. Alright, there's Omid again. The next tweet, Sienna Miller's payout may be one of the largest by the Sun to phone hacking victims, and per her court statement, okay, quote, tantamount, and quote, to admission of illegal activity as well as privacy invasion. Her lawyers believe the paper paid for medical records to confirm her 2005 pregnancy. Alright, let's see here. So this probably something that was in court. It was only once she had issued her claim in September 2019 that she was shown some generic disclosure documents that NGN had been ordered to disclose to the claimants relevant to their general allegation of some illegal activity that related to her. Miss Miller was horrified to see the disclosure, which she believed showed that there were expenses claimed by Nick Parker, a senior Sun journalist, and that he had met with a medical record tracer in July and August 2005 to discuss Miss Miller's pregnancy. I mean, how is this somebody's business? How is this somebody's business? And if this whoever have access to those medical record who's doing that needs to think twice before they do those kind of things. My God, people are trusting you with their personal information, and then for a few bucks, to give it to somebody else to go and hunt the person. I don't know the circumstances, but I'm gonna give a pass to the person who's doing that now. But at least from this point on, anybody who have access to medical personal files of anybody, whether in the UK and the US or anywhere around the world, don't do that for pennies. You are putting these people's well-being at risk. So, if you continue from this point on, December 11, 2021, you will be a baggage for God. You will be a baggage for God. But enough is enough. Miss Miller also believes that the medical records tracer was Christine Hart, who is alleged in this litigation to have obtained private medical information, and that she had appeared to have issued an invoice for Sienna Miller pregnancy research. End quote. It was shocking to see the evidence that appeared to show that the son had paid for Miss Hart to unlawfully target her to get information on her pregnancy. For example, Mr. Parker's expenses used the reference quote Sienna Miller pregnancy widow end quote, and the last expense state quote dinner with Tracer who confirmed Sienna was pregnant. My goodness. Enough is enough. And this is the thing here where the government is putting them in a situation where they need those basic needs. In order to get those basic needs, they need money. Through that, you have the triangle here. You have the son going to those people, offering them pennies, for information that's gonna hunt on somebody else. All right, let's read the next some of the comment. This is not journalism but sanctioned harassment under the guise of a free press. I'm sorry for Sienna Miller and the other victim of this hacking. Yeah, that's for sure. It is illegal invasion of privacy. It's no wonder the former journalist Boris Johnson is colluding with Rupert Murdoch to curtail the privacy right of British citizens. It's not about holding the powerful account, but keeping the rich unaccountable. That's exactly that. And the thing is that when I was watching ByLine TV last night, little did I didn't know Boris Johnson was fired in several other places that he was working at. I mean, that should tell some people something. This is why also in one of my videos I said, even though you're quitting certain job, but if every job you go you quit, it's not a good track record. So here you had Johnson being fired in some places that I learned through watching the ByLine TV video, is that he's not a good person to be in the position that he's in. Alright, so and then that Murdoch guy, I have a picture of him with somebody, but it's the plan to do some stuff like that. But whenever they get close to them, to their objective, they throw the race card here. Alright, let's see here. And I'm glad many people are fighting back and the court is upholding the law, that kind of thing. But I'm still feeling sorry for Johnny Depp in this situation here. Alright, can't wait for the son to go bankrupt. They have loaded of money. Thank God Meghan had Lily in America. Not one word was leaked about her pregnancy or birth. Yeah, for HIPAA law. Okay, and unfortunately this happens in the US also. Yeah, sometimes there's people, what is it, TMZ I believe have their people in hospitals when a celebrity comes in, they have their whistleblower calling them and stuff like that. I don't know where I saw it, but I believe they have those kind of things here. Right, and it's true, this also happened in the US. Like for instance the Michael Jackson thing too. Okay, how did the TMZ was the first one to know about it, this kind of thing. So they have people all places. Okay, thanks at Scobie, good for Sienna Miller. Okay, the tabloid industry is a criminal industry. Yeah, it is, because they're poisoning the mind, okay, blindside the public while they're doing their criminal activities, other group. It's a team, like that triangle I be saying. Okay, how can something like this be accessible to the citizen of that country? Following celebrities to doctors' visit, hacking, God save them. Okay, believe me, if we don't pay attention what's going on in the US, okay, even though I'm focusing, majority of my thing is what's going on in the UK, the US is in the same boat too. The US is in the same boat too. Many people are not paying attention. They throw the race card, everybody forgot all of their problem, the issues at hand. Alright, so these outlets breaking a pregnancy can be a result of this, solely disgusting. I hope more victims band together and go after media that targets them. Okay, they are still in business. It was not nearly enough. Disgusting. Where are the free press, freedom of speech gang justifying invasion of privacy? So sad. This is a sickening but unbelievable invasion of privacy. Okay, it's one huge club. The press, politics, PR, the old school tie. We don't have a chance. Guess what? Just because someone have is using the tabloid, the media, and all of that, if something is wrong, is not right, is not just, you need to speak up. So just sitting back thinking you don't have a chance already, you already eliminate yourself. That's what they want. That's what they want. They want people to just sit back, say they don't have a chance. Oh, look at Meghan. Out of all this, oh my God, me looking from the outside, it's like the whole entire country was against her. And then to amplify it further, they amplified to Australia. They tried to bring it to the US, but the squad were like, don't bring this nonsense here. Look, this person is lying. Don't bring it up here. All right. So they were trying to get the entire world against her. But guess what? She knew her truth. She knew what she was doing. She knew what was right. She stood against all of this and fight for it. So look at this. People were telling her she doesn't have a case, intimidate her, do the scare tactic, because they know she was right for pursuing it and they were wrong. So that way, if she had quit, guess what? What do you think the next issue will be? They'll pick up something else to go after her. So as soon as she had that piece of evidence against them, she was gonna pursue it. They even brought that nonsense to the White House when the other guy was there. I mean, you tell me, what kind of scare tactic is that? Every powerful people that could do something, they bring it up to them so they could scare her. Can you imagine that? So they want you to eliminate yourself from the fight from the beginning. That way they could continue their nonsense. Every bully needs to face their own consequences. Alright, let me leave that and move on to the next one. Next tweet. Okay, wow, I bookmark a lot of Omid stuff. Okay, emotional statement from footballing legend Paul Gascoigne, who, I hope I pronounce his last name correct. I apologize if I don't. Okay, who is receiving a large settlement from NGN for the illegal action of the Sun and News of the World. Quote, all I ever wanted was to play football. End quote. He says, he continued, quote, it has been a living nightmare which has changed me forever. End quote. I mean, when you think about it, I mean, for these people to go through that on their own, it's very hard. It's very hard. Okay, my husband will move. This is what happened when you share the office with him. When I give him the thing, he changed everything. Now I'm looking for my sweater. It's kind of cold here. Alright, let's read this. There's a statement here. Okay, Edward Dutton Shamash, solicitors, 9 December 2021. Personal statement issued on behalf of Paul Gascoigne. Okay, I wanted to be at court today, but I am learning to avoid situations that put me under stress, and so I have decided to stay away. Instead, I have asked my lawyer and friend, Gerald Shamash, to make this statement on my behalf. The illegal and highly intrusive action of certain sections of the media have cast a dark shadow over me for more than 25 years. Oh my God, 25 years! This is why Sienna Miller was saying, it will take her a long time to 25 years. Wow. Okay, almost half my life. This is the third case I have settled in relation to phone hacking. In this latest case, I have discovered that a staggering 98 separate news stories were published by The Sun about me. I mean, how is that news? I mean, people in the UK, majority those who are sleeping, who think it's just about black and white in terms of racism, need to look into this and say, what's gonna happen when it's you? And the other thing that I got from the first paragraph, the introduction, is that he knows his situation, his mental well-being. You know, he avoid being in a situation that's gonna put him under stress. That's something we need to, think about as well. So he's like, if I'm gonna be out there to talk about this, it's gonna create something, put me under some sort of mental situation. So to avoid that, I'm giving this to my lawyers to share it with you. So this is something, when you know your own mental breakdown, what can cause it, is to avoid it. And this is what I got from that. Alright, so let me continue with this. These stories have not only had a devastating and debilitating impact on my mental health. Look at this, I didn't even read that freaking paragraph and I went to paragraph 1. Alright, on my mental health and well-being, but they have put my friendship and family relationship under incredible strain. With no other explanation, I unfairly blamed them for leaking personal information to the press, and I found it difficult to trust anyone. Wow. Which caused relationship to break down, in some cases beyond repair. Wow. So they were hacking his phone. Oh my God. I could see that. They're hacking his phone while he's having conversation with somebody, and then when he was only aware talking to certain people and said, this information I was sharing with you, next thing you know, it's in the paper. So I could see him blaming the other person that he was talking, not knowing that was the third person who was eavesdropping. Wow. That is very, very sad. I could see, in my humble opinion, when you really upset about something like this, probably call certain names that, pull the other person on the other side, have no clue about it. Probably say, I didn't say it. How many ways can I say I didn't do it? This kind of thing. But him on the other side saying, I was only talking to you about this particular topic. How could the Sun know about it? This kind of thing. And then, relationship despair, But anyway, let's continue. I often ask myself, why? What did I do to warrant such systematic and targeted intrusion? Okay, all I ever wanted was to play football, but I have been constantly dragged down, sometimes to the point of completely breakdown, by a relentless campaign to make public all aspects of my life. Yeah, people want some privacy. This is the thing Harry have been going through. When you see him and the paparazzi is taking his pictures, he's trying to get away from them, and you could see that. Knock on wood, hope I never be in that situation, but I could see that. I could see them being so freaking paranoid with these people who wants to know everything about your life, and all you want to do is just live your life. My goodness, it has been a living nightmare which has changed me forever. I don't believe I will ever fully recover. Wow. May God find somewhere you could find peace. My goodness. Gerald Shamash of Edward Dutton Shamash, who has represented a number of high-profile victims of phone hacking, including Mr. Gascoigne, added, quote, this is one of the worst cases I have encountered in terms of the sheer volume of stories and private information that was published about Paul and the significant damage this has had on his mental health. Quote, it has been long, hard battle, but today we finally get some recognition, and I hope that while he may never get over what happened, he can at least take some comfort from that. And the thing is that when it comes to mental health, there is no end. There is absolutely no end. Everybody's situation can affect each one of them differently. Right now he might be fine, and then the next minute probably crying out of nowhere because of something that triggers the brain to target whatever the Sun have done to they probably should not only whatever settlement that they did here, they should pay a lifetime worth of to see a therapist, because the thing there's no reason for it. All right, let's continue. And the royals collaborate with these people. They did this to Harry. Charles allowed this. Shemi, really, Harry was all alone after Diana's death. What did I've been saying? I've been saying that. Can you imagine Harry after Diana is gone in the palace by himself? And thank God it was a boy. Even as a boy, you see things that people do to the little boys. Look at the church, for instance. All right, the Catholic Church. And this is why I said, thank God it wasn't a girl either. Thank God it wasn't a girl. Because this guy didn't care. It was for the firm and he moved on with his life. Can you imagine that? Sheesh, each time I think about it, my God. And the other thing is, we had to pray to God, Harry, get out of it. How? The only one, and he was one of the youngest who grew up in that institution, to say there is something better, something different than this. For him to take the proper step to move out of there, a toxic situation. My goodness, we always have to, when we think about it in that perspective, believe me, there's many branches to that. But in that perspective, to know Harry was all alone without a mother and a father who wasn't even care. Okay, didn't even care the minute he was born. It is documented. It is well known. Diana said it with her own word. To say, oh, it's a boy. And then give a damn about it. And right after she gave birth, what did he do? Go play polo or something. Alright, didn't really care about Harry. And then this little boy who lost his mom at 11 or 12 years old, to have the proper mindset to say the institution, the kind of behavior that's going in there, it's no good. I mean, this is the courage without, I don't know. I really do not know how he get out of it. I always have little humble opinion here, of every little thing here. But for Harry to get himself out of this, to see the right when the wrong is all around him, how? And he grew up in it. How? I don't know. The only reason that the only thing that I can come up with is that the universe, Princess Diana, and heaven was doing the right thing, trying to protect him, put the right thing in his brain to say, get the help that you need from the physical world. Remove yourself from this negativity. That's the only thing. And for those who saying, oh, Princess Diana didn't send Meghan for Harry and William, you could think whatever you want. And like I said in another video, if you have another idea, open your YouTube channel, say what you want to think. But this is, I don't understand. I don't understand. I cannot fathom how Harry was able to get out of this. And the reason that I say Princess Diana sent Meghan for these two boys, not only for Harry here to love him as a husband and wife and things like that, but also to help him see things, like some of the questions that Harry probably, okay, that's my humble opinion, probably was questioning himself and couldn't come with the answer. And then there's Meghan here who said, yeah, you're right, whatever you're thinking, yes, you're right, this should not be, it should not be this way. Alright, I've been doing this all my life. This, the way you were thinking the other way. No. The question you are bringing up to yourself is the right question. This kind of thing. Harry's mind was open to, for change, for something new, to learn, okay, to grow, this kind of thing. The other brother was not. This is why he was not able to see the potential of Meghan in his life. Not in the same manner as Harry, by the way. Okay, not in the same manner, because William wanted people to like him, but his behavior, his action were not the right way. So if he had opened himself, be humble, that's the thing, to be humble, open himself, his mind, his eyes, to be filled, to be educated. Okay, not that you always right is a yes, 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 yes. Nobody's perfect. If he had opened his mind to and be humble to see the full potential of Meghan, and when he need help with something, go to ask Harry. Okay, when it comes to husband and wife, this kind of thing, you need the help of your brother's wife help. Guess who do you go to? You don't go to the wife directly. You go to your brother and said, oh, I need to speak to your wife about this. Can she help me with that? And I've shown you an example before. For those who've been with me since 200, there was something, I forgot what I bring up. It could have been the case with my lawsuit with the gym, where this attorney in my neighborhood, when I wanted to speak with him, who did I go through first? Because we are friends, not close, but we are friends. But to get some advice from him, not to hire him yet, to see how I could go about it, I contacted the wife, okay, and said, oh, I need to speak to your husband about something, to see, I contacted her first, and then she gave me his email address, okay, for me to speak with him. You don't go directly, okay? A guy don't go directly to the wife to speak. Is the guy with the guy, or if it's your sister, you want to speak to the husband, you go to your sister first before you speak to the husband. All right, so you don't create speculation. All right, even though that's not in your goal, but because we are human, we don't know. Unless you tell us, we will know this kind of thing. So to avoid speculation is to go to the brother. So with that being said, is that William did not open his mind and spirit, this kind of thing, that spirit, human connection, to open it up, to learn to be humble and ask Meghan for help and say, oh, my brother told me you had a IG account. How did you do this? How did you do that? Can I do that? Can you help me create this kind of thing? Or Meghan will say, this is what I did, this is who helped me to do this, okay, I'll get this person in to help you with that, this kind of thing. What did he see? He automatically put the defense, didn't see anything, okay. All he saw was hate. And who did he hire? Politicians to come and help him. And politicians, guess what? No, are in there now. It's almost like the Trojan horse kind of thing. They are in the palace. They see how you work. What did they realize? What did I learn from all of this debacle? That the three houses don't work together. All right, each one of them is a different branch. They don't collaborate. They don't let the other know what they're doing. So they're gonna give you what you wanna hear, to the point of you doing self-destruction. You can't blame them because you called them to come and help you. They letting you know how they did it. They probably know all of your freaking secret now, and for them to do their nonsense, you're gonna have to keep your mouth shut, this kind of thing here. So yeah, so for those who didn't think that the spiritual world was working for those boys, I truly believe that this is the only solution I could think of, is the spiritual world of Diana was working for those boys. One of them saw it, the other one did not. That's my only explanation. This is my only humble opinion that I could, because I cannot come with any kind of logic that I could think of how Harry get out of this. How? I don't know. Because when you grew up and something, okay, it become part of you. It's part of your life. You see it every day. You hang out with these people. You do all of this. Look at how I truly believe Harry was immune. Okay, immune to the negativity that his father was always putting him down and all of that. So he's immune to it. He didn't see any different, because the institution said, you second. After William, you second. You this, you that. You have to take the blame. Alright? So he was immune to it. How he got out of that, I do not know. Your guess is mine. My only guess is the spiritual world was working for him. And his mind and body, spirit was open to see it. And he saw it, he took it and left. He even said all the stars were aligned and this and that. And then someone in the comment section said, what is it? Some of it I know. What, the year before she passed, Princess Diana went to Northwestern University to do something. to do some fundraising or something like that. And then when little bit Diana born is, what date was that? I know is, I'm trying to collaborate which date of what. Was it the same date that Princess Diana went to Northwestern? I could check it out when I'm editing. But let's move on. All right, so that's that. Out of this is what I come out of it. All right, let's see. Let me read what's here. Okay, and the world. Okay, that's the part that brought me into all of that thing that I was saying. All right, there's 3 comments under it. And the world's collaborate. Okay, that's in French. Okay, that's this. Kate's phone was hacked 155 times. You are blaming the royals when you really should be blaming the tabloid. Well, all of them part of it. The thing is that she knows she was hacked too, but her and her husband, what did they were playing with them. Okay, this is the thing, that she wants to be so good with this, to be in that elite class. Okay, thinking this is the way to go. She forgot her own problem. She forgot they did that to her. All right, because she wants to be part of that group. If she had fought just like Meghan, okay, that's the difference here. She wants to be accepted into the high class, that she forgot her own problem. This is why many people may not have that much respect for her. Sorry to say. Sorry to say. Let me read what's this, and then I'll come back to that. There's 9 comment. So why did they collaborate with the same tabloid to attack Meghan? There it is. Okay, private case. They sent the head of their foundation to testify against Meghan.
As we know, is that the Mail on Sunday had the ruling against them in February, and they were then appealing it. So it was lawyers from the Mail on Sunday who would have approached Jason Naff, knowing that these emails and messages existed. That would have been the point. And unless, I mean, the most likely outcome is that Jason obviously would have then gone to William and Kate, and clearly he has cooperated. He would not have cooperated with those lawyers without their definite knowledge.
If William and Kate know how this tabloid operate, why would they do that to them? That's exactly that. There it is. I'm telling you, the squad always comes. Always come through. All right, the British tabloid industry is disgusting. Comes back to the question, why do the British public accept this type of behavior from their media? Some are fighting. Looking through ByLine TV and all of that, there are some who are fighting. Okay, stop blaming the public. Why do the American public do the same? Stop victim blaming. It's not in the same level. I mean, the people in the I don't know. I don't want to brush it off for the American people. Some people do take this nonsense seriously, but many people just take the tabloid as gossip. That's it. All right, like National Enquirer, nobody take them seriously. All right. Okay, these are the scoundrels that get a pat on the back from the Queen for doing an amazing job. One of the reasons why I have long lost respect for that woman. There it is. All right, let's go into that. This one that had 9 comments in there. Kate's phone was hacked 155 times, okay? And yet she is still collaborating with them, being so friendly with Sun reporters. You just proved my whole point, I guess. Yeah, that's the thing here. All right, so why did they collaborate with the same tabloid to attack Meghan? Okay, I read that on the other one. Okay, so why do the royals still include these papers in the royal voter, giving them guaranteed access and inside information? Why was the Sun photographer giving special access at Prince Philip's funeral? Why do royals consult with them? All right, there they are. I mean, there's proof right there. And this is the thing, is their action and behavior that gonna extend them. Okay, just because you want good press, that doesn't mean you have to do this kind of thing. There they are. They're going to a private citizen doing those stupid things that people really don't care about. All right, you rewarding them for that, and this is the thing that's gonna get people upset. All right, let's see here. It is the tabloid's fault. They are societal stain, but in order for them to leave the royal family in peace and not destroy them on the front page every day, they must strictly play the game. This is not a game. The thing is that the royals need to understand this basic aspect here. Very basic. Like Meghan said, was it you fundamentally don't understand? Fundamental, okay? The fundamental of everything is that there is no perfect human being. You are allowed to make mistakes, not to go out of your way to make mistakes while you're trying to pave your way through life, because we do not know the future. As we walk through our life situation, the path, we will make mistakes. Through that, once you recognize your mistake, is to fix your mistake, to not repeat it again. That way, the next mistake that happened, you learn from it. This is how people grow. Nobody's perfect, and through that, this is where other human being will respect you for it. You acknowledge your mistake, you fix it, you change it, you don't repeat the same one. Okay, so when you make another mistake that you didn't make before, guess what? People will still understand it and forgive you for it. But when you want to get positive coverage 24/7 like you're a perfect human being, people come into question, what the F? What the F? Okay? And then the worst thing is that you get yourself out of one thing that you don't want the tabloid to print. What did you do? You go and do the same shit again. What the F? That's the problem here, because you guys have no consequences when you do something. Okay, if you had learned from it instead of brushing it off, don't print this, it's no good. Okay, what did you learn from that? For telling the tabloid not to print it, you should have learned not to do it again. This kind of thing. But you repeating the same thing. This is the thing here. You repeating the same thing for centuries. Your great grandfathers, your great aunt, your great aunt was a mistress to this queen, and then you become the mistress of this. You're repeating the same freaking thing. My goodness. This is the thing that the public, people with common sense cannot get. And then once you get the people upset, and you rewarding those publishers, this kind of thing, and then you attacking, and then they start going to private citizens. Like these actors, they are still private citizens. Their line of work is being an actor. That's all. And then when they do a movie, they just go promote the movie, and after that it's private. Anything else is private. So if you start attacking each individual going into their private stuff, then the people's gonna get angry. So stop doing this kind of thing. Okay, let's see. It is the tabloid's fault. The tabloid and the royal family, because the tabloid keeps on doing it, and the royal family is how will I say that? Not reward them, allow them to do it. This kind of thing. All right, let's see here. It is a tabloid fault. They are socialist stand, but in order for them to leave the royal family in peace, not destroy them on the front page every day, they must strictly play the game, give exclusive, kiddies pics, wine and dine, etc. What, you know what? If the royal family did exactly what Harry did, okay, when something negative come about it, and face it, they will not have anything on you. Okay, if you face every BS that they, look at this, when they decided to print your private letter, you did what was right. You go to the court and call them out to court. You face every little thing. But if you keep on doing it, my goodness, that's on you. And then this is the thing here, those publishers, they're not your friend. If they were your friend, they will take precaution not to be printing your private letters. Or for the queen, for instance, she had her speech for the Christmas speech or something like that. They're not your friend. Their friend is money, so you should get that. They're not your friend. Okay, that wasn't a winning argument. You thought it was. He's a good one. I should follow him. Add bio to your profile. Let me follow him, because I keep on seeing his tweet. He's really good. Okay, that wasn't a winning argument you thought it was. All right, there's an eye here. Look at this. All right, colluding with these people. You thinking they're your friend? No. They you know, I'm sorry you didn't see that, William. I'm sorry, but your brother did. You no, there's nobody who's perfect. Whoever's around you think who's telling you you are perfect, you got it wrong. You got it wrong. And you should learn from your mistake already. Alright, next tweet. After the next trial, which include my friend Harry, the murder group have only had the cheek to ask that no further trials be brought against them. This will mean an excess of 1,000 individual claims against the murder group not being heard. They think they have all the power. You see, these are people over there who's been paying really close attention. Okay, the dangerous people have been provoked. Who cares? Someone has to stand up to them, and there's nothing wrong with tweeting that's public record being said at the High Court. Okay, the audacity of them wanting no further trial to be brought against them. Can you imagine? They actually think that they have the God-given right to do what they do. You see, now people is facing them. Now they realize, oh shit, okay, we're gonna have to pay this thing. I mean, what they're gonna have to pay those people. And when you think about it, at the time when they were printing this stuff, they were having fun, okay, at the expense of these victims. All right. Today, though, the vile business model seems not to have changed. Believe me, I'm so glad I did that small little research how the tabloid came about. Alright, so this is, you give them an inch, they take a yard. You give them a yard, they want to take all of it. Alright, they started in that aspect of tarnishing black people in the UK. Alright, so they wanted the black people not to be moved up into higher social class. So they tarnished the brain of white Brits not to accept the blacks into their class, into their circles, whatever it may be. And then what happened now? We are on full steroid. They turn it into completely 360 things here. But guess what? The thing with black and white is still there. Okay, it's still there. But they start going into your personal thing, your private thing. Who knows? What else can they go? It's like they want no limit. Alright? They want no limit. Why are you talking on social media, provoking those dangerous people? Okay, do you know everything you say here for everybody to see? Could use against you, against your friend, Harry? What is she talking about? Okay, I guess this is public testimony. So in case anything happened, his spoken evidence is out there. Kind of like Princess Diana and her interview. That's true. Okay, for me, Murdoch has destroyed my country. To think that to govern this country, you need to endorsement of the gutter press son sickened me. Alright. He saw division. That's right. And hate. Destroy people while politicians watch by. That's right. Agree, the Sun is basically a propaganda machine designed to divide us and create hate and misinformation. People are seeing it. That's exactly that. Looking forward to you detailing all in a book down the track, Gavin. Okay, Murdoch thinks he has all the power. Not really. God has all the power. He thinks he has, but God has the ultimate power. Murdoch thinks he has all the power because they are in a position to ask government to change the law so ministers can overturn or throw out judges ruling if the government does not like it. This change is all because Meghan won against Mel on Sunday, so let's hope judges say no. Based on what that video that I watched with ByLine, I mentioned in the previous video, alright, I think we have hope. I think those judges see where the country is heading and it's not gonna look good for them. So I think we have hope. And now the people need to stand behind all those people who are fighting the tabloid, and then you'll see. So the voice of the people is more powerful than anything else. If the people stand behind those who are willing to take on those tabloid, the judges will do the right thing. And plus, all they have to do is follow what's on the books. What's on the books. And I was very surprised that the last election that you guys put in the same people that you guys have that were destroying your life from the beginning. Alright, let's see here. Don't get it twisted. You and Harry are not friends. You are someone trying to undo some of the damage you caused by your illegal acts. That is admirable. But don't think for a minute Harry will trust you. Alright, slowly catch the monkey, Gavin. You know who you are dealing with, so be careful and back your plans. Okay, thanks, I have plans. Alright, who is he? I don't follow him. Okay, private investigator and investigating consultant, problem fixer, working. Is that the one? Is that the one who did the private and the private investigator for Meghan? That the okay, I don't know. I don't know if that's the same person. But anyway, it's power over people because the people said nothing. That's right. People sit back and then allow them to continue because the people most often targeted by the male or celebrities. When it happens to them, and it will happen to them, they'll scream. Exactly. Eventually it will be you. Eventually it will be you. Okay, your victim Harry IE. Next tweet. I hope this weekend I edit all of the videos that I've done, the things that I bookmark. Alright, because let me see, I have another video to do, and regarding Maxwell, that'll be the last video that I bookmarked for that particular day. Okay, next tweet. They just woke up and realized that he carried his late mom in his heart and will fight for the honor of his wife just like he would for his mom if she had lived long enough to see her King Harry go toe to toe with the man who broke her heart to pieces and humiliating her. Alright, let's see, that's the headline. Why Charles' friends fear his rift with Harry may be as damaging as his war with Diana. Richard K. When was that? Okay, December 8th, 2021. Remember, all these that I bookmark was for December 9th, and I never, I think I only record one video, and then I left the rest for another day, which is today, and I'm recording them. Whether I'm gonna be able to edit them, I don't know. Alright, so the recording needs to be done because when my kids are up, it's too noisy. Alright, this is my response to this. He brought it on himself, Charles that is. He should have known what's going on in his charity instead of flipping the blame to his younger son, who he never happy to have on day one. Okay, Harry warned him, but too stupid to listen. What is it? Twitter was starting to limit my character here, so I had to go back and change some letters to numbers. Alright, that's regarding when the Mafu, that Middle Eastern guy who was donating to Santa Bali, and then Harry returned the money and said that he has a suspicion of him, and then he warned his father. That was the talk of town on that day. Okay, Harry warned him, but too stupid to listen. The money was too good to listen. Alright, so that's child here. That's why it must be you. Alright, so don't blame it on Harry. Okay, maybe Sausage Finger should have ignored his son's call and cut off his security while aboard. Charles has shown over the years that he'll throw his wife to the side of the road and his sons under the bus in favor of his side piece. That is his character. That kind of man will be next King of England and head of the Church of England. Thanks, Betty. That's the crime. Charles' friends, LOL. This here, what war? Harry is minding his business. That's right, doing meaningful work. If his scandalous father will stop trying to drag him into a scam, the public will have never known about him warning Chuck about the donor's motive. Alright, that's another perspective of things. Yeah, there's that. Put it on his own roll. Next tweet. Okay, I'm almost an hour here. Probably gonna cut some stuff. Alright, next tweet. Prince Charles worried that Harry is chipping away at his authority, end quote, like Diana did. There's here. There's me responding again. Well, since he took Harry's security away, Charles knew Harry didn't exist to him. Harry survived Charles' attempt, and now Charles is trying, quote, how dare you survive, end quote. Charles is going to be an intern. Okay, I put that in quote. Intern for the rest of his life. Second he got the job, he's going to have to say adios to it. Charles shouldn't strip Harry when he left. Okay, and I was like, what an idiot. Why Charles chip away at Charles. That's why Charles chipped away at Charles' authority. He became so obsessed with Camilla that he forgot how to behave. He let his pursuit of her become his top priority and almost turned into Edward VIII. Camilla is his weakness. That's who chipped away at his authority, Camilla. This is what it looked like when a man has a jewel at home but then goes dumpster diving for her replacement. Oh my god. Twitter don't play. Twitter don't play. Okay, let me read it again. This is what it looks like when a man has a jewel at home but then goes dumpster diving for her replacement. Oh my god, look at Diana. He had that. Probably the most beautiful woman in the UK at that time. And then for this. Jesus, 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 Jesus. Who the future Queen of England? So many things to say. For me, it's the fact that when Charles was married to Princess Diana, she then put the stop to it. Okay, I could understand you were in love before. Okay, many of us have had some relationship prior to the person you marry now. Okay, not everybody the first person you meet and that's the person for the rest of your life. Not everybody. Some people had some relationship prior to their husband. Once things stopped, one of them married, the other one should have put a stop to it. At least one of them. Charles, for one, should have been the number one to put a stop to it. Okay, because he was the one who married to Diana. And the second one, okay, let's say if Charles was persistent on going after Camilla, Camilla should have put a stop to it. Okay, so both of them are at fault. More so, I don't know which one is more. I guess they both share the same leverage of fault because Charles was married. He should have known not to pursue the mistress, and then the mistress know Charles was married, should have put a stop to it. So they both at the same level. Both of them should have put a stop to it and move their separate ways, create their own family. But my goodness, let's see, birds of a feather, he then deserved Diana, not in any way, shape or form. Diana brought us Harry. That's the only really accomplishment Chuck has. Alright, Charlie boy, authority, don't make me laugh. Respect my authority. Okay, isn't that Cartman, Fred, doppelganger, and everywhere? It's from Checker Lover. Alright. Okay, those huge fragile ego of the futures. Okay, you'd think by now Charles would discern that Harry's experience of him has taught him well. It hasn't gonna though. Charles needs no help from Harry to chip away at his authority. Charles is doing a completely good job at it on his own. Let's see her CBE scandal cutting off Harry and Meghan's security. Tampon Gate, Diana, and keeping the DOE title that was to be Edward. Alright, I said he's doing a fine job. Okay, and I forgot throwing your faithful assistant of 40 years, Michael Fawcett, under the bus to take the blame for the CBE scandal. Nice one. Alright, because Harry won't be his fall guy for selling honors. Whatever Harry has been, sprung from the cage, he's nobody's patsy anymore. Okay, Harry's scapegoating is over. That's for sure. After this, that's it. Wow, this shows he really is still mad at his now deceased ex-wife, who it still feels took away his dual shine and authority. That man is a case of study. Okay, does his senile ass remember that he's refreshing to a 37-year-old man, not a 12-year-old boy? That is true. That is true. Charles should have known better. Alright, dude said he wanted a girl. There it is again. You see? There's another person who remembered that. Dude said whatever love means to his then wife, who is cheated with by being a tampon. Not to I'm telling you, Twitter is bringing everything to life. I'm telling you, Charles should just shut his mouth and take the blame. Because once you start putting the blame on one of the squads of the Sussexes, you're gonna get dragged. Okay, not to mention he complained about Harry's red hair, and as soon as the photo shoot at the hospital after Harry's birth ended, Temple Man left his wife and his newborn son and went to play polo. Look at this. Was it this video that I was talking about this? There it is. Alright, so he never wanted him in the first place. Alright, then suddenly, as Harry was born, it just went bang. Our marriage, the whole thing went down the drain. Diana's own word. Charles had got his heir and spare. After that, it was all Camilla. Yeah, and I believe he just did those kids for the firm. He didn't really care for any of them. Alright, yo Fred, Harry's on the whole other continent and a different country, married with 2 kids, quote, holding fast for his wife, end quote, and all that. Jan 224, no longer a senior royal, making his own way with his own money. He has absolutely no desire or appetite for royal shenanigan. Get over it. That is true. Charles must have been too busy kowtowing with British undesirable tabloid to not realize Harry left as working 2 years ago. My goodness, time flies. I can't believe it's already been 2 years. Okay, authority and Prince Tampon is an oxymoron. If he had any, he would have married the mistresses of Cornwall instead of the angel Diana that he had crucified. That, in a nutshell, I think it's true. Pretty much crucified Diana. Can you imagine? Oh my God, I don't even want to think about this. Diana was on her own, and you see all of those tabloids. Look what they're doing to all these people that I've been reading in this video. What they're doing to these people. Can you imagine this? Diana was on her own. She was a fighter. She was a fighter. My goodness. May God continue cherish her in heaven. She has to be in heaven because she didn't deserve that. She did not deserve that. Unfortunately, the only I would say the only mistake Diana made was not going with her instinct. This is what human nature is. Our little instinct usually tell us, almost always we push it away. And then, you know, to push her to go along with against her own instinct is that when she speaks to her loved one, they push her to go further with it. So therefore she let go of that little instinct, that little voice inside us, go away. All right, the Lord was talking to her, no, don't marry him, but she went along with the people in the physical world was telling her. And then, but then again, out of that, one of the comments says here, we got Harry, and Harry is doing the fighting. And then God needs to keep her in that heavenly place that she probably is right now, that dimension that I always feel that she's in, because she didn't deserve any of this thing in this physical world. Okay, I think Charles is right. Harry is Diana's son, but he has Meghan. I think he knows now he made an enormous mistake. I don't think he even learned. I don't think he learned. These people never learn. They never learn. Well, you're gonna see the next thing that happened. He's gonna say something stupid or tell his tabloid people to write something. All right, and then he's gonna get dragged again. Okay, who made enormous mistake? Okay, authority. How old is Harry? Where does he live? Where does live Harry? Why is paying his bill? Okay, who is paying his bill? Does the old man still believe in slavery? All right. Okay, I did say after this. Okay, definitely after this. I said that ship has sailed. Had your chance, John. Okay, who's that man in front of Harry? That's Prince Edward. Okay, there was a picture somewhere. Okay, Charles is a man that treats his wife like crap and he's spare. He and William are angry. They don't know how to make Harry come back. Am I the only one that find that family photo odd? Why is Prince Charles holding G, who's G, and not C, Charlotte, I guess? Even Camilla leaves her alone. William does the same. He protects G, never C. Okay, George protects George, never Charlotte. Okay, is there a picture in here? Oh, forget that. Alright, so there was a picture that was shown. I don't see. Alright, this is my last tweet for this video, and then we do a prayer to have the light or something. I don't know when I get to it. Okay, hold up. Why am I the only just now realized the 5,640 was total over 1 year. Yeah, 365 days, and Morpho couldn't even cover his advance. No wonder Murdoch parked his ass on the web show. Alright, what's going on? Exactly, and that's why he showed up on Tucker Web Show instead of network TV. That's why him and his wife and son out here begging for him to get his job or any job. Why he's gotta bring up Meghan, because that's what keeping the lights on in their hovel. The good sis didn't even have to lift a finger while Lady Karma is dancing on his ass. I hope that web show flap harder than his book. Okay, they probably, okay, I think I know. They're talking about, what's this guy? The nameless guy who was for 4 years bragging, tarnishing Meghan's name on national television, who claims he met her. If you don't know, I'm gonna try my best not to mention his name on my channel. The nameless person. Okay, web show. That's the laugh, because his book didn't sell. Alright, let's do a prayer. Let's go to all prayer for, let's say, continuing fighting, continuing the fight, because fight for good. Prayer to keep fighting. God is by your side through all the battles of this life. He will fight for you and direct your feet through your trials. Praising God as you walk through the fire will bring strength and peace to your heart. Fill your heart with praise for God, pushing out fear and worry. Alright? Pushing out fear and worry. Let's go to image to pick something. Okay, let's do this one. Daily battle prayer. Thank you, Lord, for your protection over my family. I come against any plot, ploy, or scheme that the enemy has planned for us, and I render it useless in Jesus' name. We are head and not the tail, above only and not beneath. No weapon formed against us will prosper, and every tongue that rises against us will be condemned. We have the minds of Christ, and victory is ours today in Him. We are children of the Most High, and we rest in His goodness and faithfulness today in Jesus' name. Amen. I think this is good enough. I have one more that I bookmarked. I need to get it out of the way, so at least it's there. Alright, so please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share. There's a PayPal link in the description to donate if you wanna help support this channel, or you could just watch the commercials in this video. Thank you for your support, and those who have donated, thank you, I appreciate it. So now let me go to the last thing that I bookmark. This is gonna be a next video. Thank you for watching.